Well, hello and welcome to season 4, episode 158 with Miss Heard Song Lyrics Podcast. I'm Miss Heard. We're doing our first ever, maybe this might be the first duet, I can't remember. But for episode 158, we're going to do the duet of Phil Collins and Philip Bailey. And it's their song, Easy Lover. The Miss Heard song lyric is, she's an easy llama. And then the correct lyrics is, she's an easy lover. Llama, lover. It doesn't seem like it would be the same, but when you hear it, it does sound like he's singing, they're both singing llama. So let's go into it. And who doesn't love a llama? I love llamas. So excited to talk about episode 158 because not only is it a fabulous duet by both Phil Collins of formerly Genesis and Philip Bailey, formerly of Earth, Wind, and Fire, but this is the song that both my Gaben Maynard, who I had on episode, 7, all the way back in season 1 when we did his Madonna's Miss Heard, Like a Virgin Touch for the 31st time, we won a karaoke contest together. So let me just set the record here that we actually had a third person who was part of our group per se, who sang with us, but she does not count because it was really Maynard and my duet that helped us win this karaoke contest back in 2013. This is where even before the Fox's Masked Singer was even an idea or even on TV, I actually came to the venue dressed as lovable Japanese character Domo. And if you don't know who Domo is, just Google him and you'll see. But people thought I was Angry Toast. Anyway, that's what I wore. So all night, no one knew who I was. I think they assumed I was female. Who knows? I was wearing hot pink fuchsia flats, but for all they know, because of my deep voice, maybe they thought I was a dude. I don't know. But like I said, thanks to Maynard and I, we won this. And I guess help from our third person during the chorus. But again, thanks, Maynard. So let me set the stage. So again, this is where we were at a karaoke contest. What they did was they said to all the teams, because it was, kind of like a bracketed round of winner of each round would get to the next round and so forth. So they gave us, I think, about 30 minutes to be in our own karaoke room. So this place was done at a local area here in Portland, Oregon, in the United States. For those that are listening outside of the United States, it's in the northwest part of the United States. So we were in the room, and so I kept telling my team, okay, I think, because since you have to at least be a duet or two people or more, we were a trio, but like I said, the third person doesn't really count anyway. Anywho, let's start practicing songs that we want to start out with. We agreed upon this one because such a good song, and it was perfect for Maynard and my voice because Maynard did the Phil Collins version apart. I did the Philip Bailey. And then after that, I said, if we make it to round 2 or maybe round 3 in the final round, we don't know what they're going to ask us. So I said, let's do The Girl Is Mine. Let's practice that. Again, Maynard did the one version of, or he did the part of Paul McCartney. I did the part of Michael Jackson. And then I don't think the third person did anything. They just kind of stood in the background. And of course, when we made it to the second round, that was the song that the judges picked for us. So it was perfect that we had it like the back of our hand. So there was a lot of great stuff. The crowd loved us. And of course, long story short, we won. And after we won, even till we won, I think, not only many accolades, prizes and gifts. I have this kick-ass karaoke award that I still have to this date with a microphone. And I think they used an old karate trophy and then added it and made it to a karaoke machine. So you have this karate person kicking. And we won it. And I still have it till this day. And the funny thing is the people that put it together, even when we were leaving the venue, like, who is under that Angry Toast costume? And I would not take off my costume. And to this day, they have no idea. So let's start talking about Easy Lover. So it's a song, again, performed by both Philip Bailey, like I said, of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Phil Collins of Genesis, and jointly written and composed by both Bailey, Collins, and a Nathan East. It appeared on Bailey's solo album called Chinese Wall, and Collins has performed the song in his live concerts. I would too. And it appears on both his 1990 album called Serious Hits Live and his 1998 compilation album called Hits. It's also Bailey's only US top 40 as a solo artist. I did not know that. I assumed once he left Earth, Wind, and Fire, he'd have many other top 40 hits, and this is the only one. So the song was #1 in several countries, including Canada, the Netherlands, Ireland, and the UK. In the US, I remember when I was a young gal. It spent 23 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, including 7 weeks in the top 10, and then peaked at number 2 the week of February 2nd in 1985. So I was 13. And then also again on February 9th of 1985, behind the chart-topping number 1 that they just couldn't beat it off its pedestal was Foreigner's I Want to Know What Love Is. So that's the song that kept it from number 1. And then in the UK charts, it did reach number 1. So it stayed there for 4 weeks. The single sold over 1 million copies in the US and was certified gold, as the RIAA requirement for a platinum single disc was not lowered to 1 million units until 1989. And then in addition, Easy Lover has been certified gold by the British phonographic industry, they call it the BPI, for sales of over 400,000 in the UK and platinum in Canada by Music Canada. So I'll just talk about this really fast. When you think about them selling that many records, so over 1 million records at that time in 1985, you couldn't download anything then. You had to literally, again, walk to the record store of your choice and buy your vinyl, your cassette tape, because that was available, or I guess your single. That's how they hit that. So that's amazing. So what the background is, how the song came about was, I guess in 1984, Phil Collins was hired as the producer for Philip Bailey's soul album Chinese Wall. Very smart, Philip Bailey. And according to Phil Collins, Bailey approached him at the end of the sessions for the album and asked him to write a song together. In quote unquote, Phil Collins' My Life in 15 Songs, it was a 2016 interview he gave to Rolling Stone magazine. Collins said that the song was, what he said, so we just started having a jam one night and we went round and round and turned it into a verse and a chorus. We recorded it that night so we wouldn't forget it. Never forget it. Ooh, don't regret it. That's in the song. That song doesn't sound like any particular era. It's just fantastic. And we agree, because whenever someone tries to sing it in karaoke, even if they don't have a great voice, people love it. The music video itself was also very unique at the time. It was a video within a video. So it was filmed at Etward Studios in London, England. Watch it, just Google it. And it depicts them making the making of this video. And it was produced by a Paul Flattery and directed by Jim Yukich. And it actually won an MTV Video Music Award for Best Overall Performance in a Video in 1985, and was Grammy Award nominated for Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals in 1986. So everyone loved it. So let's talk a little bit more about Philip Bailey, and then we're going to segue into a little bit about our friend Phil Collins, because it's just interesting things. So Philip Bailey, he was born Philip James Bailey back on May 8, 1951. He is an American R&B, soul, gospel, and funk singer, songwriter, and percussionist, also best known as the early member and one of the 2 lead singers, along with the other group founder Maurice White of the band Earth, Wind, and Fire. He is noted for his 4-octave vocal range and distinctive falsetto register. And you know it when he sings, oh, that's Philip Bailey. He has also won 7 Grammy Awards. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame as a member of Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was also inducted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame for his work with the band. Definitely well-deserved. He released several solo albums, one being the one we're talking about today, Chinese Wall from 1984, which of course did quite well with the awards I shared earlier, and also was an international hit with the Easy Lover, with his duet, which is not Lover, I thought it was Llama, so there you go. And then in May of 2008, Bailey was awarded an honorary doctorate of music from the Berklee College of Music at Berklee's commencement ceremony, where he was the commencement speaker. That would have been a great graduation to see him talk. Now, let's go into his friend on the other side here, Philip David Charles Collins, born January 30th in 1951. So they're both the same year born, okay? He is an English drummer, singer, songwriter, and record producer. He was also the drummer of and lead singer of the rock band Genesis, and also had a career as a solo performer, which he did quite well. So between 1982 and 1990, Collins scored 3 UK and 7 US #1 singles as a solo artist. When his work with Genesis, his work with other artists, as well as his solo career, has totaled, let's say this again, when his work with Genesis, his work with other artists, as well as his solo career is totaled, he had more US top 40 singles than any other artist during the 1980s. I did not know that, Phil Collins. His most successful singles from the period include "In the Air Tonight," love that. "Against All Odds" from the movie Take a Look at Me Now, "One More Night," and "Another Day in Paradise." He was born and brought up in West London. He played drums from the age of 5, okay, and completed drama school training, which secured him, excuse me, all right, which secured him various roles as a child actor. I didn't know about this. With his first major role, age 13, as the Artful Dodger in the West End musical Oliver. All right, so he already had some acting chops before his acting that we'll talk about a little bit later as an adult. He then pursued a music career, joining Genesis back in 1970 as their drummer and becoming lead singer in 1975 following the departure of Peter Gabriel. I love me a Peter Gabriel as well. I wanna be the sledgehammer. Okay, now as a kid, I thought he was talking about a sledgehammer. As an adult, now I know what he was talking about, and it was something sexual, just FYI. One thing I also want to talk about, Collins, is yours truly did, at just a short amount of time in history, took drum lessons and did a little bit of drumming. And you think, oh, it seems so simple. No, it's not. As a drummer, you are a very integral part of the band if you don't realize this already, because you're the one that's keeping the time of the band so they don't sing a song too fast, too slow. And then imagine doing that and then also singing. It's like patting your head and, kind of circling your stomach at the same time. It's not easy. So after doing just even that short amount of training there, I was like, this guy's a genius, okay? He then, I'm digressing. Collins began a successful solo career in the 1980s. I remember that. And it said it was initially inspired by his marital breakdown and love of soul music. So that's what caused him. He released the albums Face Value in 1981, 1982's Hello, I Must Be Going, I Have This in cassette, 1985's No Jacket Required, and then 1989, But Seriously. Collins became in the world of all music, they said, one of the most successful pop and adult contemporary singers of the 1980s and beyond. What he's known for is, they say, a distinctive gated reverb drum sound on many of his recordings. In 1985, he was the only artist to perform at both Live Aid concerts. That's a big did you know. I did not know that. So he did it in U.S. as well, and in England. I don't know how he did that, but he did. He also resumed his acting career. I remember him. He was featured in Miami Vice a couple times, and also starred in the film called Buster in 1988. And then in 1996, he also left Genesis to focus on solo work, which included writing songs for 1999 Disney's Tarzan, for which he received an Oscar for Best Original Song, You'll Be in My Heart. That's him. He also joined Genesis 2 times, because you gotta get the band together and aka make more money. So in 2007, he rejoined Genesis for their Turn It On Again tour. And then he did a second reunion tour just recently in 2020. And it actually ended just this March of 2022. So it was a 2-year tour. So did it 2 more times. And then following a 5-year retirement to focus on his family life, Collins released an autobiography back in 2016 and completed his Not Dead Yet tour in 2019. That's hilarious. Another did you know I thought was interesting is he is one of 3 recording artists along with Sir Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson who have sold over 100 million records both as solo artists and separately as principal members of a band. That's pretty amazing. Let me just do the litany of all his awards. So he had won 8 Grammy Awards, 6 Brit Awards, winning Best British Male Artist 3 times, 2 Golden Globe Awards, 1 Academy Award, and a Disney Legend Award. He's also awarded 6 Ivor Novello Awards from the British Academy of Songwriters, Composers, and Authors, including the International Achievement Award. He received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1999 and was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2003 and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Genesis in 2010. He's also been recognized by music publications with induction to the Modern Drummer Hall of Fame in 2012 and the Classic Drummer Hall of Fame in 2013. Woo! All he's missing, it looks like here, is a Tony, award and a Emmy Award, and I'm assuming he would get an EGOT, which is what only certain people have. Rita Moreno is one of them, amazingly, is when they have an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. So I wouldn't be surprised if he hits it before he passes away. What he's also known for, infamously, is his relationship. So he has been divorced 3 times. From 1975 to 1980, he was married to a Canadian-born gal by the name of Andrea Bertorelli. When I first read it, it looked like Botticelli. He was married to Botticelli. No. They met as 11-year-old students in London drama class. That's so cute. And they reconnected in 1974 when Genesis performed in Vancouver. They married in England, and they were both 24 at the time, after which Collins actually legally adopted Bertorelli's daughter, Jolie, who was born in 1972, who also became an actress and a film producer, so very talented. They also had a son named Simon Collins, who was born in 1976. He is a former vocalist and drummer of the prog rock or progressive rock band called Sound of Contact. And in 2016, Bertorelli took legal action against Collins pertaining to his account of the relationship in his autobiographies. Remember, he did that autobiography back in 2016, apparently. She was like, he wrote things that were not right. So, drama right there. And then in 1984, he married American-born Jill Tavelman. They have one daughter. You might have heard of her, named Lily Collins, born in 89. She became an actress. Well, she's very popular and she's gorgeous. I'll talk about in a second what she's doing today. But anyway, the marriage had problems. And it actually ended up with Collins twice having an affair with a Lavinia Lang, a former drama school classmate, while touring with Genesis in 1992. Yikes. The two were previously engaged, but the relationship ended before they married. And in 1994, Collins openly stated that he had fallen out of love with Tavelman and had filed for divorce, which they finalized in 1996. And as part of the settlement, Collins paid Tavelman, good for you, Jill Tavelman, 17 million pounds. That's a lot. So let's go back to the daughter, Lily Collins. So since 2020, she's portrayed a character by the name of Emily Cooper in the Netflix series Emily in Paris. And I've not seen it yet. I want to. Everyone says, Mel, or actually everyone says, Miss Heard, you should watch it because she wears amazing fashions in there. She is in this Netflix show called Emily in Paris. It's an American romantic comedy, actually created by Darren Star of Netflix. Remember Darren Star? He was known for making a lot of shows in the 90s. I think 90210, maybe that could be one of his, as well as Melrose Place. It's set and filmed in Paris, and the series stars Miss Lily Collins as an aspiring Emily Cooper, an American who moves to France to provide an American point of view to a French marketing firm called Savoie. There, she struggles to succeed in the workplace while searching for love and experiencing a culture clash with her conventional Midwestern U.S. upbringing. That sounds amazing. So, way to go, Emily Collins, for making a name for yourself. So that marriage ended. So that's marriage number 2. And in 1999, Collins married Oriane Seve, a Swiss national who worked as his translator at the start of his 1994 tour when she was 22. Oh, much younger. They have 2 sons, Nicholas and Matthew. They lived in the former house of Jackie Stewart in Benines, Switzerland. And then in 2006, they too divorced. Colin paid her, yikes, $25 million, and which became the largest settlement in British celebrity divorce. Wow, 25 million pounds, even more than dollars, just mind you. And then Collins continued to live in the Vichy, Switzerland, while he also maintained homes in New York City and Dersingham, Norfolk. So he has a lot of homes. And then in 2007 to 2016, he was in a relationship with American news anchor Dana Tyler. In 2008, Seve and her 2 sons moved to Miami, Florida. Collins recalled, I went through a few bits of darkness, drinking too much. I killed my hours watching TV and drinking. It almost killed me. He said in 2015 that he had been a teetotaler, so he hadn't drank for 3 years. And then in January 2016, after moving to Miami Beach, Florida in the previous years to be closer to his 2 youngest sons, Collins reunited with Seve, the one gal he paid $25 million, and they lived together in Miami. And then in October 2020, Collins filed an eviction notice against her after she secretly married another man in August. Ooh. Collins sold his Miami home in 2021 for $39 million. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Now, interesting thing too is Collins' brother, is Clive Collins, was a cartoonist. And he actually appeared at his brother's ceremony at Buckingham Palace, where when in 2019 he was awarded an MBE for services to art. That's pretty cool. So his brother, in his own right, is very creative and obviously very well admired for getting this specific award at Buckingham Palace from the Queen. He said, per Phil, I shared a bedroom with him when we were boys, and he was always drawing. He used to do Christmas cards and birthday cards for the family. That's awesome. So let's end it with, how much is Phil Collins worth? Well, it says here in 2012, so that's already 10 years ago, so it's probably gone up. He was estimated to be the second wealthiest drummer in the world. He was surpassed only by Ringo Starr of the Beatles. Collins was estimated to have a fortune of $120 million, according to the Sunday Times Rich List of 2018, making him one of the 25 wealthiest people in the British music industry. So there you go, Easy Lover, how you know everything about it, as well as how my Gabe and Maynard and I won it, thanks to us. And even though that third person thinks they did not. They were there in the background anyway. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any great suggestions like this, please send it to Miss Heard Song Lyrics. And you can send it to Miss Heard, that's a MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com. You can send it to any of our fun sites like Instagram with the same name, Facebook, Twitter, and we might do a song or misheard that you have, and we'll talk about it, talk about you. Till then, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye.